All set? Okay, great. All right. Good morning, everyone. I am pleased to call to order the April 27th, 2022 meeting of the Montgomery County Election Board. Judge Wall and I are here in person, and Commissioner Lawrence is doing this meeting via hybrid attendance and has asked me to chair the meeting. And with that, we arise from the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. Any opening comments from members of Election Board? Commissioner Lawrence, did you have any opening comments?
I do not. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, then we will move on to public comment on the agenda items. Today, we have one agenda item, which is about moving a polling place. Ms. Co-Francisco.
We have all general public comments.
Okay. All right, then we will move on to general public comment. Okay.
We'll start with folks here in the room. First is Ken Sauder. Does Solicitor Stein want to read the rules?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Mr. Stein, if you could remind everyone of the rules, please.
Absolutely, and good morning. All speakers who are physically present should sign into the meeting sheet available in the room or virtually as indicated by Ms. Co-Francisco. All speakers who are physically present must come to the podium if they are able. All speakers should identify themselves by name and municipality. All public comments under the law must be relevant or germane to county business. This means I should say the election board business. Under the law, this means that the subject matter of all comments must be limited to items or issues which are currently before the election board for consideration or which may become before the election board for consideration at a future meeting. Whether a matter is germane to election board business is a determination to be made by the county solicitor. A time limit of 2 minutes will be monitored, and county staff will respectfully request speakers to conclude their comments if the speaker goes beyond the time allotted. The election board is not required to respond to public comments during the course of the meeting, so the public is reminded this is not an opportunity for dialogue or questions and answers. The board chair may direct appropriate county staff to follow up on any questions or additional comments after the meeting. Disruptive behavior, including but not limited to yelling from the seats, arguing whether matters germane to county business once the solicitor has made a determination on such, or refusing to yield the floor once time has elapsed and being requested to sit down, shall be grounds for removal or muting from the meeting without further admonishment or warning. The election board welcomes written correspondence, comments, and feedback, which may be submitted at commissioners@montgopa.org.
Thank you, Mr. Stein. Okay.
Okay, Ken Sauder.
Good morning.
Good morning, board members. My name is Ken Sauder, and I'm from North Wales. Once every 4 years, people show up at the polls, wait in long lines, many with their voter card and photo ID in hand. This is their one opportunity to make their voices heard. They take it very seriously. They go before work, or they go after work. They mark it on their calendar. They wouldn't miss it for anything in the world. It's a sacred duty, and their one opportunity to make their voice heard. The thought that their one little candle, as it were, would effectively be blown out by those who rigged the system is just unthinkable. Don't we all believe in one vote for one person, one vote? How could this happen? Upon hearing and seeing videos of ballot harvesting, whistleblowers under oath testifying of cheating at their local polls, experts testifying to machines that appear to be hacked, they wonder why this isn't fully investigated. They wonder how courts usurped our state legislature's authority to make the rules. Why not at least pause to investigate? Election officials turn a blind eye to this and tell us it's baseless. Don't believe your lying eyes. Nothing to see here. Over half the country believes the 2020 election was rigged and stolen. 35% of Democrats also believe this. However, I am optimistic that we, the people, along with God's help, will get to the bottom of 2020. Abe Lincoln, a Republican, an emancipator of slavery in the US, said, you can fool some of the people some of the time and all the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And Jesus Christ said this, and he said, shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? Jesus told us his own followers that they would be wronged on earth, but if they persisted in prayer to him, he would vindicate them of the wrongs done to them, though it may take a long time. Thank you.
Next, we have Pauline Braccio.
Good morning,
Morning.
Pauline Braccio from Tomlinson Township. I refrained from objecting during the reading of the public rules because it doesn't seem to make any difference with Joshua Stein, who wrote the rules. And they do violate the law, the Sunshine Law. Judge Wall, I don't know if you're aware of that, but the only remedy that I would have, or any of us would have, would be to write a letter of complaint to the Court of Common Pleas. And since you are here, I wonder, would you listen to something like that? Would you investigate that? It's very clear when Mr. Stein reads disruptive behavior. Well, if someone says I object rather, he could count that as disruptive because the person is objecting, which would disrupt the meeting. However, in the Sunshine Law, section 710(1)(c, it states that anyone in the room has the right to object, to stand up and say objection and disrupt the meeting. So his rules are in direct conflict with the actual law. So I would hope that the law would supersede his rules. So I'm just throwing that out there to you because you may be seeing something coming soon. And I would hope that you would, and it's all on video unless they edit it out, but it's there. And the rules are there, the law is there. And should I address it to you or to Judge Coluccio? I don't know who exactly would it be the president, Judge?
I'll defer to you. You should address it to.
You
Well, it's going to come to the Court of Common
can address it
Pleas.
to whoever you want.
So I would
Do
just
you have a
address.
comment about election board, Ms. Braccio?
Well, yeah, a part of it is that I do believe there's going to be fraud again in this county because Shapiro is up for governor. And I know that, you guys are just aligned with him and that Ken has the ability to
Ms.
make
Braccio, your
adjustments
time is
and
up.
to, commit fraud, and it will happen. So there's no doubt about it. Thank
Ms. Braccio. Next.
Next is Colette Penland.
Good morning.
Morning. Thank you for having me. Colette Penland, Skippack Township. With my 2 minutes, I'd like to discuss the drop boxes being proposed to be placed around the county. Why do we even need ballot drop boxes in the 2022 primary? There's no longer a scamdemic giving an excuse for the lack of human interaction while voting. Absentee ballots are still an option, and mail-in ballots, well, can't they be mailed? But that's a whole nother can of worms. Many of us here have seen videos from across the country and the state, including at least one incident in Montgomery County showing ballot box stuffing. Many instances, how many instances is too many? Is there a minimum amount of election fraud to happen for action to be taken? If so, please tell us what that minimum amount is. What measures are being taken to prevent ballot stuffing from happening again? Who is monitoring these boxes? Can we get some cameras on these boxes? How about like some of those nice wildlife cameras that are motion activated? After my outrage at the results of the 2020 election and the patterns we saw repeated in 2021, I got more involved. Through canvassing, I saw firsthand the discrepancies, the state voter rolls, and what voters reported when we spoke to them. The discrepancies are in all party affiliations. This is not an R or a D issue. It became very apparent to me that the voter rolls in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, need to be majorly cleaned up. We, the people, deserve this. This is just one problem, and these problems add up to a huge issue. We have an election integrity issue in this county. So This is where my concern comes from with these drop boxes. Who is going to prevent shenanigans from happening again? Do you have a plan or procedure in place? Whose responsibility is it to secure the county elections? Primary or not, we the people no longer have faith in the election process. We have sat by idly long enough. We the people are awakening. We the people have had enough. We the people want answers, and we the people are watching. Thank you.
Next, we have Denise Paniconi.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Denise Paniconi. I'm from Skippack. And I don't have any notes, so I'm a little nervous here. I'm holding in my hand a Pennsylvania application for mail-in ballot. This was mailed to my husband, who lives at my address. I did not receive one, and I'm wondering, how do they discriminate like that? And the other thing is, there's a place on here where you have to provide some kind of identification. They either want a Pennsylvania driver's license or a PennDOT ID card number, or the last 4 digits of your social security number. But then on the bottom, there's a box here that says, I do not have a PA driver's license or a PennDOT ID or a social security card. Okay, so how does that scenario even, like, how is that even a checkbox? Like, who are these people that either don't have a driver's license, don't have a Pennsylvania ID, and don't have a social security number? Who are these people? I want to know how they're getting mail-in ballots mailed to them. Thank you.
Next, we have Kurt Stein.
Good morning.
Good morning. Kurt Stein, Upper Salford Township. This is kind of a follow-up to a talk that I gave a couple weeks ago at one of your board of elections. And it really is substantive because of all the other talks that we've heard this morning also, is that to put everybody at ease with what's going to happen in 20 days on May 17th, I think what we are all asking for is total transparency. You know, how are things going to work to ensure that, and I'm sure the Board of Elections has a plan, but we would like to know what that plan is. And maybe that plan involves an education of us users that everything is going to be okay. We're going to have a great election. Montgomery County is going to be the shining star of Pennsylvania. So I'm up here once again asking for a way, and maybe I've missed the posting somewhere on a website, but if there hasn't been or is, within the next 20 days, it'd be great if there was a forum, an introduction of mail-in ballots, absentee ballots, drop boxes, mail-in ballots, time cutoffs of 8 p.m. on May 17th. Closed circuit TV monitoring of the drop boxes, the county sheriff's picking them up, and so they're going to be secured. I think these are things that people are saying. We know there were problems in the past across the state and across the country, but we know and we have faith that this board is going to do the right thing to ensure that the Montgomery County elections are going to be good, so that we don't have to go through a long adjudication process, you know, and we can know the results of an election within hours or days instead of weeks. Is there a plan to educate us as to what is going to be done by the county so that we have faith in what the elections are going to be? Because I have faith. A couple of years ago, we saw a lot of issues, but I do have faith that the Board of Elections is going to do the right thing. And if you educate us, we're going to be in a position to really stand by you. Thank you very much.
Your time is up.
Thanks, Mr. Stein.
Next, we have Jean White.
Good morning.
Hi, my name is Jean White. I'm from Montgomery County, or in Montgomery Township. Act 77 was unconstitutional. It was deemed by the Commonwealth Court in January of 2022. Then the PA Supreme Court suspended that decision. As a PA voter, I am very upset about that because I feel that all subsequent elections are unconstitutional. And if the Constitution is not going to be a document that's going to be followed, then it's just a document. And unfortunately, the people that put that document in place are the same people that were electing, which I found outrageous, that document should not have been signed. It needed to go to a vote to the people of Pennsylvania. And so I find that whole thing is unconstitutional. All elections afterwards are unconstitutional, and there has to be some remedy to the voters. This is outrageous. And then in 2021, just to give you an example with the mail-in ballots, I understand that you put in a new machine that opened the mail-in ballots and they ripped them. So what did they do? They taped them. So then what did they do? They put them in the machine. What happened? They got adjudicated. Now somebody else is deciding who I voted for. I find that outrageous, and you need to fix that. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Okay, that concludes in-person public comment unless I missed someone. Okay, we'll move to online. Again, if you are logged in via Zoom, we just ask that you use the raise your hand feature. I'll go to Robin Hallman now. You can unmute yourself. Again, Robin, you just have to unmute. We can't hear you if you're speaking.
Hello, can you hear me?
Now.
Okay, thanks, sorry. Okay, in regards to the proposal introduced this month by,
Would you just please tell us where you're from?
oh, I'm sorry, Robin Hallman from East Narton.
Thank you.
In regards to the proposal introduced this month by Senator Chris Dush to eliminate the ballot drop boxes in PA, it's been documented and a bipartisan complaint and concern for decades that, as stated by Senator Dush, there is no way to secure those ballots and prevent ballot stuffing. This bill needs to pass the House, and drop boxes must be eliminated. The removal of drop boxes is a clear and simple elimination of one avenue of cheating, and we need to eliminate as many of those possible factors as we can. Election cheating and fraud are not a conspiracy theory. It's a fact that has been used and as a corrupt election tool for as long as elections have been around. To deny the possibility of cheating is on a lesser scale naive, but in the grand scale, it's purposely unjust, criminal, and corrupt. Also, to deny the cleanup of the dirty voter rolls is even worse because it's negligence on the part of this committee. At a minimum, this committee is responsible for removing any and all dead voters. As a reminder, in the 2020 election, it was found that there were well over 21,000 dead voters. Underage voters need to be removed. Duplicate registrations need to be removed. In the 2020 election, there were over 29,000 duplicate registrations in Pennsylvania. And thanks to the often fraudulent mail-in voting option, in the 2020 election, there were over 10,000 supposed people who voted by mail-in PA who don't even exist on the PA voting system. That info is from auditthevotepennsylvania.com. You can look it up yourself. Just a note to the people listening, if you should witness any kind of questionable or illegal voting activities in the upcoming elections, one of the places to contact would be truethevote.org. Their election fraud hotline is 877-868-3772. 877-868-3772. So I want to know what the plan is for this board to ensure the integrity of our votes.
Time is up.
Thank you.
Okay, that concludes our public comment.
All right, thank you. We will next move on to approval of the minutes. I will move to approve the April 21st, 2022 minutes of the Montgomery County Election Board. Is there a second?
Forgive me, I had my hand up to make comment.
Oh, okay, Mr. Burton.
Yes,
All right. Okay, sir, go ahead and please just let us know where you're from.
absolutely. My name is Daniel Burton. I am a congressional candidate for District 4, which covers Montgomery and Berks County. So Good morning. As we pledge allegiance in the beginning of this meeting, I also know that in order to be on this board, you need to swear an oath to uphold the Constitution and what it stands for and as it is written. So if we look at the United States Constitution and we look at Article 1, Section 4, the times, places, and manner of holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof. But the Congress may at any time by law make or alter such regulations except as to places of choosing senators. So if we refer to our state constitution, if we look at that, that is Article 7, Section 2, the general election shall be held biennially on the Tuesday next following the first Monday of November in each even numbered year, but the General Assembly may by law fix a different day, 2/3 of all the members of each house consenting thereto, provided that such election shall always be held in an even numbered year. Basically, what that says, and your solicitor can say that as well, is that elections are to be held one day a year, not 2.5 weeks through a ballot box, through a drop box throughout our county, throughout any county in this state. It is unconstitutional and by definition unlawful. So as you swear an oath to that Constitution, I significantly advise you to look into that law as a judge and as a solicitor and see where those laws truly stand. Because right now there is no precedent for drop boxes and there's no accountability on those. And we are now allowing voting for 2.5 weeks prior to an election with the drop boxes that are not being monitored, regulated, or any accountability action being held upon those boxes. So in such definition, that is unconstitutional, and you are then breaking the law if you allow that to happen as an election board here. So please look into that. Do not let the State Board of Elections says to come back to you because they don't want to hold the responsibility of it. So that is your responsibility. If it comes back unconstitutional, we'll come back down on your shoulders. So my advice would be to remove
Mr.
those
Burton,
drop.
your time is up.
Thank you.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Right, we'll go to Marlene Laska. Marlene, you just have to unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, I just want to register.
Ms.
the
Laska,
fact-
could you please let us know where you're from?
Oh, yes, I am from Upper Providence Township, Oaks Precinct.
Thank you.
Yes, I just want to register the fact that very, very concerned with the Dropbox philosophy and the fact that we are continuing to have them, even though we had a Commonwealth ruling that said that they were unconstitutional. I do recognize and realize that it was appealed to the Supreme Court. However, that in and of itself is disturbing. The fact that that we still are going for this primary to have to live with the drop boxes. That being said, and with the mail-in ballots, both of which are unconstitutional. That being said, we have to take extra precaution during this primary to ensure the integrity of those drop boxes, since we have to live with them, for this primary. And the integrity has to be by what was said earlier, the transparency, and with like video recording, some way to end the fact that they are 24 hours a day being opened. That is in and of itself ridiculous. I mean, for the primary, we should be able to at least say that they have to be done during 9 to 5 type of thing. Again, I want to register that the mail-in ballots and the drop boxes are of grave concern for this primary, and we do need to do something extraordinary to protect them.
Okay, that concludes our public comment.
All right. Okay, I will begin again, and I will move to approve the April 21st, 2022 minutes of the Montgomery County Election Board. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Judge Wall. Any board comment? All right, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, Ms. Ware. Good morning.
Good morning, Election Board. I am here today to request the authorization of the relocation of one polling place for the 2022 primary election to take place on May 17th, 2022. The Board of Elections is given the authority by the Election Code to relocate polling places as they see fit, and today I'm seeking approval of the board to move just one polling place. Precinct Pottstown 2-2 normally votes at Montgomery County Community College's West Campus, but that is unavailable to us due to construction. So we would like to move it to the Carousel at Pottstown. They have a beautiful space ready for us, and they were more than happy to become a polling location. Notice has been posted at these locations that the polls are being moved as required by law, and both locations are aware of the move. We've also notified and worked with representatives from both the Democratic and Republican parties committees regarding these moves. In addition to notice being posted, every voter in these precincts will be mailed a new voter ID card indicating the location change, identifying their new polling location. We can have these scheduled to go out as early as Friday, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have regarding this move.
Thank you. I will move to approve the relocation of the one polling place named on the attached document titled April 27th, 2022 polling location changes, beginning with the May 17th, 2002 primary election and continuing for all elections going forward. Is there a second?
There is second.
Second by Judge Wall. Any board comment? I would just have to say that this will be the cheeriest polling place I think that we have in the county. So
I know, I think it'll be great for the carousel as
it'll
well.
be great, exactly. It'll be great for folks who haven't ever been there before to have a chance to see it. So that's terrific. All right, if there's no other comments, then we will move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Any closing board comments? Then I will announce that the next election board meeting will be held on Friday, May the 13th at 2022 at 2:30 p.m. in this room. And I will move to adjourn the April 27th, 2022 meeting at the Montgomery County Board of Elections. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Judge Wall. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned.